Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Spice. Today we are at the next topic, Instructive Miniatures Explained. And today we are going to look at the second game where we see the master Dake playing against Pauli. So through these lessons we try to understand how sometimes masters are also prone to errors and the mistakes are exploited by the relatively unknown players. This game is a simultaneous game played by Dake. So of course there are chances of mistakes in a simultaneous game. Let's get started with the game quickly. E4, E6, D4, D5. The starting of the French defense. Here white has four options: E5, D5, Knight C3 and Knight D2. At that time and even today very popular is NC3. Simple development with support, white also attacks the d5 pawn. Black has three options. He can take on e4, which will give slight advantage to white. He will have more space. Knight f6 is second option and third is the move bb4. Black played bb4, developing the bishop, pinning the knight, instantly threatening de4. White has various moves. e5 is one of the main line here. There are several ways to give the gambit of the e-pawn, like a3, bd2 and ne2. Here white goes for the move knight e2, sacrificing the pawn, and soon he will chase the bishop. So pawn is given up after d into e4 and white immediately attacks the bishop. He wants the bishop pair. So after the move like bishop a5, he can go b4, bb6 and take on e4. See, d4 is nicely protected by knight and queen. So black has to surrender the bishop if he wants to hold to the pawn. So bishop into c3, knight takes c3, and again now e4 is attacked. So black can do many things here. One of the moves is f5, which of course white wants. After f5, pawn will be protected, but e6 will become backward and weak. White will instantly go bishop c4, put pressure on e6, and soon he will break with the move f3. So game can proceed after bc4, nc6, be3, protecting d4, and after castle white will break the position with f3 when the opening of f5 and the e5 will be highly favorable for white. This is exactly what white wants. The move nf6 allows bg5 when after ne4 the pawn will be recovered by force. So black goes for the better move knight c6. Development with attack and challenging white now. If knight into e4, then qd4, qd4, nd4, and white is not able to regain the pawn, black remains clearly better. In the game, white played qg4, trying to use a double attack. This is one of the standard ways of recovering the pawn. In the absence of f8 bishop, g7 becomes weak, and in the olden days this used to be the main way of regaining the pawn. But modern theory suggests the move bb5, pinning the knight and protecting d4 again. Black has to play ne7 so that bishop takes, then again knight takes, and white uses the move bishop g5. If black wants to hold this pawn, he has to play the move f6, and after f6 you see that there is slight weakening of the pawn structure, but black can play this position. This happens to be the main line actually. White played qg4. This happens to be a decisive mistake and black immediately exploited this. We can understand white's situation. It was a simultaneous game, and amongst many games he must have quickly noted that after qg4, if queen into d4, this is the tempting line. After qd4, bishop e3, queen is attacked, queen has to keep g7 protected. So after queen f6 there is knight e4, and after any other move we can see like queen e5, white can again attack bishop f4, rook is coming to d1 quickly, and white will have the initiative. So he must have missed the move knight d4. According to me, he must have missed the line knight d4, qg7, knight c2, ke2, knight into a1, then queen h8, thinking that white's position is still better. But it's not so. Black calculated the line precisely and white fell into the trap. After knight d4 good move, white blundered. qg7, To me it looks like a case of oversight, because it looks like after knight c2, ke2, there is no check on d3 because of the c2 pawn, but the c2 pawn is not there. So after knight c2 check here, ke2, black played qd3 and it become checkmate. White must have missed this. So knight c2 check, ke2 and qd3 mates. So white's queen maneuver with the move g4 was exploited by black. So we see that even masters are prone to violating opening principles sometimes. Of course, this was a very old game. That time there were more possibilities of such things. I hope you are finding these lessons useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.